Welcome to a video where I shall showcase 5 things that you may or may not know. Some of these facts may be obvious to some of you, but for others, this may be the very first time that they are hearing about them at all. Let's get started. Starting things off, as we all know, there are 4 community boss hunts in total, those being the Sasquatch, the Spooky Squash, the Brothers No Moss, and the Yeti King. These are the 4 that are fully functional, and, with the use of Private Play Remastered, can be accessed at any time. However, there is evidence that suggests other bosses were also planned to be a part of the community boss hunt rotation. In the game files, if one was to take a look at the team selection directory, select the zombie selection sets file, and then open object number 8, we see the selection set for a bait under the name Ancient Oak. Another bit of data relating to this mysterious figure is in the UI consumable metadata list, opening up object 154, which shows string IDs related to this ancient oak. It can be noted that included in its ID is CU4, the same naming scheme as every other boss hunt bait as well. It's likely that this supposed ancient oak was meant to be a part of the lineup of community boss hunts that players would have to face, although sadly this is the only information we have to this boss. Nothing related to its ability set, what map you would have fought it on, or anything related to how it would have functioned, is not known, as no other data can be found related to him, so everything else is entirely up to speculation on what he would have been like. Next, did you also know the Zen Garden from the Tower Defense games was also at some point planned to appear in Garden Warfare 2? Again, searching the files and looking under the texture mappings directory, this asset can be found. This is the only thing related to Zen Garden that exists in the files, and given that some parts of the graphic look crudely drawn, it's safe to assume that it was scrapped early in development. How it would have functioned in-game is a mystery, especially given they would have had to have adapted it into a shooter-like environment. Next, did you know, computer scientist actually has unused sound effects related to his primary fire. These are supposed to be played alongside everything else, although likely caused by popcap having to rush the game. They set the volume of this sound to 0 by mistake and never fixed it. The sound would have been played with a 30% pitch up. Here is the sound by itself. And here is a comparison between how it sounds with and without the sound. Another mystery in the long list of questionable choices made by his company that we'll never figure out why. Did you also know there is an unused ability that was meant to be for the engineer? It goes by the name of the auto turret, and it's exactly as it sounds. The ability would allow the engineer to place down a bolt blaster that would work all on its own. The turret lasts for 30 seconds, and it deals the exact same damage as the regular bolt blaster. Obviously, it is very clearly not finished, given its appearance is heavily deformed, which is due to it missing a component to use bolt blaster animations, so it's instead attempting to render engineer animations on the bolt blaster model. No custom ability icon, description, or other data is present, though it does have its own display name according to its template file. Whilst it never made it into Garden Warfare 2, its concept was very likely used in BFN for the Heavy Helper, as it functions almost identically to it in every way, so it was likely inspired by this unused ability. Lastly for tonight, did you know, many people may recognize that one Unused Super Brainz animation, where he appears to be charging up, due to how infamous it looks. But did you know that there is a second unused animation? This one can be accessed by granting Super Brainz any chomper burrow, or any weapon or buff that applies a special mode with the ID of 7. This animation looks to be some early version of Turbo Twister given it's similar to the animation in question. However, instead, SB is raising his leg and keeping his fists towards his chest. Internally, this animation is labeled as the Hurricane Kick, and does have an animation for exiting it, although one does not exist for entering it, so he instantly snaps to the looping animation. What this would have been used for is not known. It could either be an alternate Turbo Twister ability, or possible some sort of alt for heroic kick like others think. Nevertheless, the fact it exists is quite interesting, and could have many implications for potential unused weapons.